The detection came on an ordinary Tuesday. Earth's Deep Space Monitoring Network picked up the unmistakable signature of multiple vessels entering the outer solar system. Within hours, the United Earth Coalition convened an emergency session. "We need our best diplomat," President Park said firmly. "Someone who understands both humanity and the stars." Ambassador Jaiwo Kim was notified while teaching at Seoul National University. She had a reputation for unconventional approaches and brilliant insights into cultural dynamics. Though skeptical of being chosen, she accepted the responsibility. 3 days later, the alien transmission arrived. "We are the Galactic Consortium. We come to assess your world for integration." Meanwhile, strange phenomena began manifesting globally. Power grids fluctuated inexplicably. Communication networks experienced mysterious interruptions. Weather patterns shifted unpredictably. When the formal invitation arrived for Earth to send a representative to the consortium's council meeting, Jaiwo knew something wasn't right. The timing was too convenient. "I'll go," she told the coalition. "But I'm bringing evidence of everything unusual that's happened since they arrived." Jaiwo stood at her apartment window that night, looking up at the stars. The weight of 7 billion lives pressed on her shoulders. Her phone buzzed with another alert: the third power outage in Busan this week. Too many strange events were happening at once. Her sister called. "Have you seen the news? The ocean is glowing blue near Jeju Island." "Another anomaly," Jaiwo said quietly. "I'm keeping track of them all." The next morning, Jaiwo met with her team. Taehyun, the tech expert, showed her the data. "The patterns match. Every time we detect one of their ships moving, something happens on Earth." "They're testing us," Jaiwo said. "Or preparing us for something." Subin, her assistant, brought coffee. "The president wants to see you. The coalition is scared." At coalition headquarters, screens showed global anomalies. Birds flying in perfect geometric formations in Brazil. Aurora-like lights appearing over deserts. Electronic devices playing the same strange tone worldwide. "They arrive, and suddenly our world acts strange," President Park said. "What are they doing to us?" "I don't know yet," Jaiwo answered honestly. "But I plan to find out." That night, Jaiwo couldn't sleep. She watched old science fiction movies, trying to think like an alien. Why come all this way just to assess Earth? What did integration really mean? The answer came at dawn. She called Taehyun immediately. "Check if any of our satellites have changed orbit." An hour later, he confirmed. 3 of them have made minor adjustments. "How did you know?" "They're not just watching us. They're changing us," Jaiwo said. Preparing Earth for something. The coalition meeting was tense. Military leaders wanted to prepare defenses. Scientists wanted to establish peaceful contact. Business leaders saw opportunities. Religious leaders saw signs. Jaiwo showed them her findings. These aren't random events. They're calculated. The consortium isn't just observing, they're experimenting. "What do you recommend?" President Park asked. "Let me go to their meeting. But first, I need access to everything we know about space anomalies for the past 50 years. The archives revealed a pattern. Strange events had been happening for decades, increasing in frequency. Weather control tests. Mass animal behavior changes. Technological leaps that seem to come from nowhere. "They've been here longer than we thought," Jaiwo told her team. "This isn't first contact. This is them coming out of hiding." The day before departure, Jaiwo visited her old professor, Dr. Han, now retired and living by the sea. "They chose well," he said, pouring tea. "You always saw patterns others missed." "I'm afraid, teacher," she admitted. "What if I fail?" Dr. Han smiled. "Do you remember what I taught you about negotiation?" "Knowledge is leverage," Jaiwo recited. "Exactly. Find out what they're hiding. What they want. What they fear. As Jaiwo boarded the shuttle that would take her to the consortium mothership, she carried a small device Taehyun had created. It contained evidence of every earthly anomaly recorded, proof of interference. "Be careful," Sabine said. "They might not like being exposed." "That's exactly what I'm counting on," Jaiwo replied. "People, even aliens, make mistakes when they're surprised." The shuttle lifted off. Through the window, Jaiwo watched Earth grow smaller. Beautiful, blue, and apparently of great interest to the Galactic Consortium. "I don't know what game you're playing," she whispered to the stars ahead. "But you picked the wrong planet to experiment on." The shuttle accelerated toward the massive alien vessel waiting in orbit. Jaiwo felt strangely calm. The truth was out there, and she was going to find it. The consortium mothership was vast beyond comprehension, housing representatives from over 300 species. Jaiwo and her small team, scientist Miho, security officer Do-hyun, and communications specialist Haeun, were escorted to temporary quarters. During introductory meetings, Jaiwo noted the patronizing tone of many alien representatives. "Your species has such quaint technology," remarked a towering reptilian diplomat. "Yet you've managed to avoid self-destruction," added another with transparent skin. "Most remarkable for primitives." The consortium leadership, led by High Speaker Toril, explained their benevolent mission to guide Earth's development along appropriate paths. That night, Haeun intercepted encrypted transmissions. Working through the night, the team decoded fragments revealing a shocking truth: consortium probes had been on Earth for decades. "They've been watching us," Miho whispered, scrolling through the data. "Not just watching. Interfering." Jaiwo studied the evidence carefully. "This goes against everything they claimed about first contact protocols." The team's quarters felt small compared to the endless corridors they had walked through. The walls glowed with soft blue light that adjusted to their sleep cycle, a thoughtful touch that somehow felt invasive. "They know too much about human biology," Do-hyun said, testing the strange food left for them. His security training made him suspicious of everything. Miho was fascinated by the technology despite himself. "Look at this," he said, touching the wall. It responded to his fingerprints, displaying information about Earth's solar system. "How do they have such detailed maps of our planet?" Jaiwo watched the aliens watching them. Many species moved through the ship's central hub. Some floated, others crawled. Some had multiple eyes or limbs in surprising places. But all seemed to regard humans with the same look, curiosity mixed with condescension. "We are so pleased to welcome Earth's representatives," said a tall blue being with 4 arms. "I am Coordinator Nulo. I'll be your guide during your stay." The grand tour felt staged. Jaiwo noticed how certain areas were blocked off. "What's through there?" she asked innocently when they passed a sealed doorway. "Research facilities." "Nothing of interest," Nulo said quickly. Later, in a large meeting hall, representatives from 20 different worlds gathered. High Speaker Toril stood at the center, a being made of shifting metallic plates that rearranged as it spoke. "Earth is at a critical developmental stage," Toril announced. "The consortium offers guidance to species at this delicate point. We help worlds avoid the common pitfalls of technological advancement." "How many worlds have you helped?" Jaiwo asked. 117 civilizations have successfully integrated," Toril replied proudly. "And how many declined your help?" Jaiwo pressed. The room grew quiet. "Those that decline often face difficulties," said a thin, gray alien. "The universe is dangerous for solitary worlds." That evening, back in their quarters, Haeun adjusted her communications device. "I modified it to scan their frequencies," she explained. "Something caught my attention during the tour." The team gathered around as Haeun worked. Her fingers moved quickly over the small screen. "There," she said finally. "I'm picking up transmissions from Earth, but they're not coming from our people." "What do you mean?" Jaiwo asked. "These signals originate from Earth but aren't human technology. The encoding is similar to consortium protocols," Haeun explained. For hours they decoded fragments. Miho plotted signal locations on a map of Earth. They're everywhere: oceans, mountains, cities. This report mentions Stage 3 integration, Do-hyun pointed out. Dated 30 years ago. Jai-woo felt cold. They've been there all along. More fragments revealed disturbing details. Probes placed in strategic locations. Tests on local flora and fauna. Selective technological information leaked to chosen humans. Weather pattern adjustments. Population density monitoring. They've been shaping our development, Miho said, horrified. Some of our biggest technological breakthroughs weren't ours at all, Jai-woo finished. A soft chime indicated morning by ship standards. Soon they would attend the formal council session. What's our plan? Do-hyun asked. We're deep in their territory with evidence they've violated our sovereignty. We need allies, Jai-woo said. Not all species here can approve of this interference. Their own charter forbids it. I read it during preparation. It's risky, Haeun warned. We don't know who to trust. Copy everything, Jai-woo decided. Do-hyun, secure our exit route if things go wrong. Miho, organize the evidence chronologically. Haeun, look for any transmissions between consortium members that might reveal disagreements we can exploit. As they prepared to face the council, Jai-woo looked out the viewport at distant stars. They came to our home uninvited, she said quietly. They studied us like lab animals. They shaped our future without consent. She turned to her team with determination in her eyes. Today, we show them that humans don't follow the path laid out for them. We make our own way. The council chamber spanned 1 kilometer in diameter, with delegates arranged in rising tiers. Earth's delegation was seated at the lowest level, alongside other developing species. High Speaker Toril was midway through a speech about welcoming Earth into the galactic community when Jai-woo stood. Point of information, she said, her voice amplified throughout the chamber. Toril paused, surprised. The Earth representative is recognized. Jai-woo's heart pounded, but her voice remained steady. Before these proceedings continue, I must address a serious violation of sovereignty. She activated the holographic display Miho had prepared, showing consortium probe signatures dating back centuries. You invaded our home, she declared, her words echoing through the suddenly silent chamber. Images flashed showing correlation between consortium probe activities and humanity's technological developmental paths. You've been manipulating our civilization, steering our advancements, influencing our societies, all without consent or knowledge. The chamber erupted. Many species appeared genuinely shocked. Others seemed uncomfortable, as if caught. This contravenes your own charter of non-interference, Jai-woo continued. Article 17 specifically prohibits technological manipulation of pre-contact species. The Great Chamber fell silent. 300 species watched as Jai-woo stood alone at the center. Do-hyun tensed, ready to protect her. Miho kept the evidence flowing to the main display. Haeun monitored the reactions through her translator device. This is unexpected, High Speaker Toril said finally. The metallic plates of its body shifted nervously. Perhaps the human misunderstands our benevolent guidance. Let me be clear, Jai-woo said, advancing the display to show a map of Earth dotted with probe locations. These are not misunderstandings. She touched her control pad. New images appeared as strange objects found in ocean depths, ancient artifacts with impossible technology, weather control devices disguised as natural formations. For centuries, you have hidden among us, Jai-woo continued. You claim to offer guidance, but you never asked if we wanted it. A tall, insect-like being rose from the middle tier. High Speaker, is this true? The integration protocol requires consent. Toril's voice became defensive. The Directorate authorized special measures for Earth. Their development was concerning. Show them the timeline, Jai-woo told Miho. The display changed to show human history alongside consortium interventions. Each major technological leap correlated with increased probe activity. The Internet? Jai-woo pointed. Guided by your probes. Nuclear energy? influenced by your agents. Even our space program followed paths you designed. A ripple of conversation spread through the chamber. Many delegates were consulting their own data terminals, verifying her claims. The humans should be grateful, called a voice from the upper tiers. Without our help, they might have destroyed themselves. That was not your decision to make, Jaiwo replied firmly. Each species has the right to find its own path, your charter says so. She walked slowly around the central platform, making eye contact with delegates from different worlds. How many of you were also guided without your knowledge? How many of your civilizations were shaped by hidden hands? The chamber grew louder as species began questioning each other. Toril struck a resonant plate, calling for order. These accusations are serious but lack context, Toril said. The Directorate acts only to preserve galactic stability. Then let the Directorate explain why they violated their own charter, Jaiwo challenged. Let them face the Council. From the highest tier, a group of shadowy figures stirred. These were the Directorate members, the true leaders of the consortium, rarely seen in public sessions. One descended slowly to the speaking platform. Its form was difficult to focus on, shifting and indistinct. Earth posed unique challenges, the Directorate member said, its voice oddly gentle. Your species advances rapidly but unpredictably. We sought to channel your development into safer paths. Safer for whom? Jaiwo asked. For all, the being replied. Unguided species often develop weapons before wisdom. Jaiwo nodded to Heian, who projected a new image Earth's Global Peace Index, improving steadily despite the consortium's predictions. We were finding our way, Jaiwo said. Making mistakes, yes. Learning from them. Growing. That process belongs to us. A murmur of agreement rose from several delegations. A crystalline being floated forward. The charter exists for a reason, it said, its voice like chimes. If we ignore our own laws for convenience, what are we? The Directorate members' form darkened. The human speaks well but understands little. The galaxy is complex. Then treat us as equals who can understand complexity, Jaiwo interrupted. Not as children to be managed. More delegates were standing now, calling for investigation. The chamber's orderly structure was breaking down as species formed clusters, debating intensely. Toril attempted to regain control. We will convene a special committee to examine these claims. No, Jaiwo said simply. We demand an immediate vote. Will the consortium acknowledge its violation and end all unauthorized interference on Earth? The challenge hung in the air. Jaiwo stood straight, facing the thousands of alien eyes upon her. Behind her, Earth's small team watched nervously as the fate of their world hung in the balance. The human demonstrates unexpected boldness, the Directorate member said finally. Perhaps our assessment was incomplete. The council session dissolved into chaos. Several delegations demanded investigations. The consortium leadership attempted to regain control, but the damage was done. A faction led by the Tellurian ambassador approached Jaiwo privately afterward. We had no knowledge of these activities, the crystalline being communicated. Many of us believe in true autonomy for developing worlds. Over the next 2 days, Jaiwo built alliances while the human team revealed their final evidence. Earth had captured and reverse-engineered a crashed consortium probe decades ago. We understood what it was, Dohayan explained to the stunned allies. But we developed it differently than you would have. Niho demonstrated human adaptations of consortium technology that worked on principles the aliens had never considered. This is why they feared us, Jaiwo said. We don't follow predictable developmental paths. We innovate in unexpected ways. The consortium leadership finally admitted their true motivation: humanity's unpredictability made them dangerous. They had been attempting to channel human innovation into controllable directions. After the explosive council session, guards escorted the human delegation back to their quarters. The atmosphere on the ship had changed. Alien representatives watched them with new interest, some with respect, others with concern. We should be careful, Dohayan warned. We've made powerful enemies. And potentially powerful friends, Jaiwo replied. That evening, their door chimed. The Tellurian ambassador, named Vex, entered. Its crystalline body sparkled under the lights. Many council members are disturbed by your revelations, Vex said. The Directorate has operated without oversight for too long. Why help us? Miho asked suspiciously. Because today it's Earth. Tomorrow it could be any of our worlds, Vex answered. The consortium was founded on principles of mutual respect. More visitors came through the night. The insect-like Zarn. The floating colonies of mist beings. The ancient arboreals. Each expressed support and shared their own concerns about Directorate overreach. Jaiwo listened carefully, building a mental map of potential allies. We need more than just sympathy, she told her team later. We need action. The next morning, they were summoned to a secure meeting room. A dozen species waited there, led by Vex. We've formed an inquiry committee, Vex explained. But the Directorate is blocking our investigation. They claim all records of Earth interventions are classified. Then we'll provide the evidence, Jaiwo decided. She nodded to Heiyun, who activated a hidden device. We have something to show you. Miho stepped forward. In 1978, a consortium probe crashed in a remote area of our world. Our governments recovered it. He displayed images of a sleek object, partially damaged but clearly alien. We didn't understand most of it, Miho continued. But over decades, we studied it. Learned from it. But here's the interesting part, we didn't use it the way you would have. He activated a small device. It projected a field of energy that bent light around objects within it. Your technology uses quantum principles for cloaking, Miho explained. We adapted it differently. One of the alien scientists moved closer, fascinated. This isn't standard consortium design. Exactly, Jaiwo said. Humans don't think like you do. We find unexpected applications. Do-Hyen demonstrated next. He showed how Earth scientists had modified consortium communication technology to interact with brainwaves. Your devices transmit thoughts directly, he explained. We developed it to help people with disabilities move robotic limbs. The aliens exchanged glances. Some seemed impressed. Others worried. The Directorate feared this creativity, Vex realized. Your species doesn't follow predicted development paths. They wanted to control our progress, Jaiwo said. Guide us into becoming predictable members of the consortium. A small, ancient alien with eyes like deep pools spoke up. The Directorate has forgotten the purpose of the consortium. We unite not to control, but to share and protect diversity. The group moved to a larger chamber where more allies gathered. Word was spreading through the ship. That afternoon, the Directorate summoned Jaiwo to a private meeting. 3 shadowy figures waited in a darkened room. You've caused significant disruption, one began without greeting. You caused it by violating our sovereignty, Jaiwo replied calmly. The second figure leaned forward. Your species develops too rapidly, too unpredictably. Your potential for violence is concerning. Yet we've chosen peace more often than your models predicted, Jaiwo countered. The third Directorate member spoke softly. We've studied your history. Wars. Genocide. Environmental damage. We sought to guide you away from self-destruction. By controlling us, Jaiwo said. Without our knowledge or consent. Your unpredictability makes you dangerous, the first admitted finally. We needed to channel your innovation into safe directions. Jaiwo smiled slightly. And now you've seen what happens when humans discover they're being manipulated. She stood to leave. Tomorrow, the full council votes on Earth's status. I suggest you prepare for change. Outside, her team waited anxiously. What did they say? Heiyun asked. They admitted it, Jaiwo said. They fear us because we don't fit their models. They wanted compliant members, not creative partners. That night, as the ship's lights dimmed to simulate evening, representatives from over 50 worlds gathered in the Earth delegation's quarters. Together, they drafted a new proposal for the Council, one that would transform the consortium forever. 1 week after Jaiwo's declaration, the Galactic Consortium underwent its first restructuring in 10,000 years. Earth was granted full membership status with equal standing. Today marks a new era in galactic governance. Jaiwo addressed the reformed council. One based on respect for all sentient species, regardless of technological development. The Jaiwo Doctrine, as it came to be known, established new protections for developing worlds and prohibited interference in natural technological evolution. Humanity's perspective became increasingly valued across the galaxy. Earth's ability to find unexpected solutions to ancient problems made humans sought-after problem solvers. As diplomatic and cultural exchanges flourished, Earth's isolation ended. Humanity stepped onto the galactic stage not as junior members, but as equals who had earned their place by standing firm against invasion, even one so subtle it had almost gone unnoticed. "We come bringing not just our technology," Jaiwo told the council during the first anniversary celebration, "but our most valuable resource, different ways of seeing the universe." In the Great Council chamber, representatives of 300 species rose in respect. The species that had once been dismissed as primitive had transformed the galaxy forever. The grand hall of the restructured consortium sparkled with ceremonial lights. Jaiwo stood on the central platform wearing traditional Korean formal attire, her choice to honor Earth's diverse cultures. Behind her, the Earth delegation watched proudly. "The vote is complete," announced Vex, now elected as the new lead coordinator. "The Reformation Charter passes with overwhelming support." Cheers erupted from numerous species. Some flashed colors, others released scented pheromones of approval, while many simply applauded in the human way, a gesture that had quickly spread through the consortium. The directorate members watched from their reduced seats. Their power had been checked, their secret operations exposed. Several had resigned in disgrace. "Ambassador Kim, please address the council," Vex invited. Jaiwo stepped forward. She had practiced this speech for days, knowing its historical importance. "1 week ago, I stood here accusing the consortium of invasion. Today, I stand as a partner in rebuilding. The Jaiwo Doctrine is simple: all worlds deserve to follow their own path. Help may be offered, but never imposed." She looked around at the hundreds of diverse life forms. "Earth thanks those who stood with us. Your courage has changed the galaxy." After the ceremony, Miho approached with excitement. "They've approved our technology exchange program. 17 species want to share knowledge with Earth. And 32 worlds have requested human advisors," added Haeun. "They want our outside perspective on problems they've struggled with for centuries." Even Do-Hyeon had relaxed his guard. "The security protocols are being rewritten. No more secret monitoring of developing worlds." At the celebration banquet, species that had never communicated directly now shared tables. Earth foods were offered alongside delicacies from across the galaxy. Music from a dozen worlds played together in surprising harmony. Jaiwo watched as a young human scientist explained baseball to a group of fascinated aliens. Nearby, Earth diplomats learned the complex greeting rituals of the arboreals. "A remarkable transformation," said a voice beside her. It was one of the former directorate members. "We always had potential," Jaiwo replied calmly. "You just couldn't see it because you were looking for copies of yourselves." "We were wrong," the being admitted. "For millennia, we guided worlds towards similar paths. But sameness breeds stagnation." 6 months later, the first alien embassy opened in Seoul. People gathered in wonder as beings from distant stars walked Earth's soil openly for the first time. Ships from Earth now traveled to nearby star systems. Human doctors worked with alien healers to cure diseases. Engineers from both worlds built new technologies together. On the anniversary of first contact, Jaiwo returned to the council chamber. The room had been redesigned, no more rising tiers but a circular arrangement where all species sat as equals. "When we first met," Jaiwo told the assembled delegates, "you saw Earth as primitive. Now you seek our ideas." She gestured to the human delegation, now tripled in size and including people from all Earth's nations. We bring not just our technology but our questions, our doubts, our arguments, our diversity of thought. These are not weaknesses but strengths. An ancient being approached Jaiwu after the speech. In 10,000 years of consortium history, no species has changed us so profoundly in so little time. We had good teachers, Jaiwu replied with a smile. Your invasion taught us to question everything. That evening, as Jaiwu watched the spectacular dance of light beings in the Great Hall, she thought of that ordinary Tuesday when it all began. How frightened they had been. How uncertain. Ambassador? A young aide approached. A new world has been detected, showing signs of emerging technology. The Council seeks your guidance on first contact protocols. Jaiwu smiled. The universe had changed forever, and humanity had helped change it. Not through force or fear, but through standing firm for the right of every species to find its own path among the stars. The end.